Hello, 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 and welcome back to twitch.tv/Epitaph Fox, and today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me, but also today is a funny, weird, random stream. I came up with the idea technically a few weeks ago, but it was more of a what if I did this rather than I want to stream this. And getting up closer to the actual day of my birthday and the day of the stream, I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. It'll be fun. It's going to be weird and stupid and hopefully interesting enough and entertaining enough that anyone popping in might want to just like hang out and chill and help me come up with some ideas and such. I want to give a particular shout out. I need to pull up the information on it. Where are you, my friend? A particular shout out to a deleted Reddit account. I wanted to give you credit, but your account has been deleted 2 years ago. Whoever this was decided to indicate how many enemies were in each game and list them all out as well in every Zelda game, or every Zelda mainline game, I should say, up until and including Breath of the Wild. Now, what I did going further was I grabbed from the Zelda dungeon, a Zelda wiki here, zeldadungeon.net. I grabbed the information on the Tears of the Kingdom enemies as well as the Echoes of Wisdom enemies. I don't know if we're going to get there. I kind of hope we do, because there's so many. I also want to note as well, the creator who's like listing of every enemy from every game, they didn't go into like full breakdown of like these are the different types of enemies like the wiki does. So there will be more monsters in Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom, and maybe I'll be like, these are all the same, there's no need to differentiate them. We'll get there when we get there. Azzy, welcome in. Thank you for the happy birthday wish. What are you having for lunch? I had just a quick snack because the stream is technically starting during my lunch, and I was just going to kind of figure out lunch after stream, because me and my wife and a couple friends, we have some dinner plans that involve a lot of food, so I might not want to have too much for lunch. Jumbo. I don't know what jumbo is, but I hope you like it. We're gonna go ahead and just get started here. As soon as I can find... There we go. Maybe if I do that, that'll be better? Lurk calling your boyfriend. Alright. We'll do that. There we go. Okay. Maybe it'd be better if I move this here for that. I'm gonna have to play with my layout a bit. I didn't want to ruin my layout for what's it called? Not Tears of the Kingdom, In Stars in Time. I didn't want to mess with that all that much, so I am still using just one monitor for this, which probably wasn't the smartest thing for me to do, but that's how I'm doing it. If I move... No, I could keep that up there, that's fine. Move that here. You know, if I make that smaller... There we go. That makes much more sense. And now I can actually, like, see chat and everything while I'm doing this. And that's kind of, like, my primary purpose here. The other thing I wanted to... I gotta put this back down so I can see if we're, like, losing frames or anything. Not that I think that we will, but we are using internet browser sources here, which is something that I've never really done on streams. So hopefully it doesn't cause issues. There we go. That should be perfect for what I want to do here. All right. Oh, you know what? I also forgot to turn my fan on. I will be right back. Okay. Without further ado, we've technically been live for 10 minutes, but in terms of after the opening screen, we've been live for 5 minutes. We're finally getting started. Water time as well. Water is going to be very much needed. It is very warm here. When I was on vacation, it was very temperate, but now it is warm. Bordering on hot if we did not have air conditioning. The Armos. We all know the Armos. Kind of a typical enemy in Zelda. I mean, technically all of them are. If I was to give this a typing, I would say, you know, it's basically like moving armor, right? So we're just going to give it steel typing. Blade trap. Right here, the blade trap. It's a blade trap. It moves when you are in near it. I'm probably not going to do this kind of preamble for every single monster that we come across, but just trying to keep things, you know, interesting, entertaining, what have you. The blade trap is another steel type, like without question. Steel. Boulder should be pretty obvious. That is a rock. Rock type. What? I don't know what that was. The bubble. You know what I might do? I might just go through based off of what's in like one thing and then go back and do the others. That might be easier. So the next thing in here, Genie. That's a ghost. Pretty self-explanatory there. Lever red. Well, they don't differentiate between the two. The person who made the list of the enemies. So I'm trying to remember. So like the point of these guys is that they kind of burrow under the ground and they kind of pop up, and I don't know what the difference is between the two colors. We can like pull up the actual link here. They look really weird. It's a low-level threat, it looks like. Sand-based enemies, thus usually found in deserts. Like most enemies, come in two different colors. Red levers pop out of the ground in front of Link and move towards them until they reach the edge of the screen, then they disappear. Blue levers appear randomly on the screen and remain above ground for a few seconds, and then hide underground for another few seconds. So they just have different attack patterns. I'm willing to say that they are both the same then. We could even do kind of like a Sinnoh Shellos situation where, you know, on the west side of the mountain they are red and on the east side blue. You get it. You get it. You get what I'm going for. These are ground types. I'm not going to care too much about capitalizations. Lynels. Again, you know, red or blue. Doesn't really matter. It probably just impacts how they attack. Lynels. Nintendo Bro, thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your Switch 2. Lynels are tricky. Most beast Pokemon are like normal type, but Lynels are like lion centaurs. I'm willing to give them maybe normal fighting. They don't really have like an elemental affiliation, but they're also not really like a psychic or a bug or a fairy. You know what I mean? We'll do normal fighting. The Moblins. Now, the Moblins, I also kind of feel like they fall into... They look like Incineroar. I agree. The Lionels do a little bit. The Moblins, I also feel like they're kind of like a normal enemy. There's nothing really like special about them in particular. But they do kind of have like that grunt kind of deal. I would say that the Moblins, especially from this game in particular, I would attribute more to like a normal dark type. The Octoroks. I always attribute Octoroks to water rock types. However, the Octoroks in this game are land-based enemies. And that's kind of what we're going to go into. There's different versions of these monsters in different games that have different attributes. So we might have the Octorok in this game be a rock type, or a normal rock type or something, but in Ocarina of Time, for example, or Ocarina of Time, however you want to pronounce it, they might be water rock types, or Breath of the Wild, for example. So we are going to just give these guys the rock typing. Peahats. Peahats are grass flying, like, no question. They are flying plants. The River Zora. River Zora, water types. We could probably argue that they might be psychic, because they do shoot out... I think it's like an energy ball or like a fireball or something, but like any Pokemon can learn like any move, right? So these guys are water types. The Tektites. I attribute these guys more with Steel, just because of their appearance in later games. But these guys in particular, you find them in the desert. So like Steel could still kind of work, but they're also very flighty. So the Tektites, I will be giving Steel Flying. All right. The Bubbles. Now, Bubbles are basically like they're meant to be like floating ghost skulls, right? In later games, they have like fire attributes. Definitely, they kind of look like a cloud with a face. I'm gonna give these guys Ghost Fire. Dark Nuts. Now, Dark Nuts are different than Armos. Armos are kind of like moving armor, like animated armor, but the Dark Nuts are definitely like actual enemies, heavily armored. They also have really impressive shields. The Dark Nut, I'm going to say these guys are Dark Steel. They got dark in the name. That's how it works. Alright, Gel. To be honest, I'm not even sure what Gel is. Is this supposed to be the early Zols, the early Choo-Choos? I have no idea. But you know what? It gives me water vibe. It also gives me a little bit of poison vibe. Especially because it's gel. It's not goo. I hope that makes sense. Like, the way I'm talking, I'm kind of just letting my brain flow out from my mouth hole. Like I said when I was advertising this stream, this is going to be silly, it's going to be stupid, hopefully it's funny and entertaining. Yeah, I'm okay with giving this a water poison vibe. Gibdo. Gibdos, they are mummies. They are the undead. Ghost type makes the most sense. However, I would also argue that they are mummified, meaning that they are also wrapped in bandages. Bandage created from paper of some kind, coming from tree, weak to fire. This is a grass ghost. Gorilla. I don't know what Gorilla are. I'm guessing these are the early iteration of Bokoblins. It looks like these are the guys that have the boomerangs. I'm gonna give these guys just normal typing. Keese, they are bats. They are flying. I could maybe argue for like dark flying, but they're a nuisance. That's really all that they got going for them. Land molas, they are land snakes. We'll go ahead and just give this thing ground typing here. You know, actually, I'll give them ground bug. They have a ground bug vibe to them. The likes. Veskit, hey, welcome in, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. Also, just to everyone here, you know, I haven't been around for a few days. I've been on vacation. I hope everyone's been well. I hope everyone's having a nice week so far. I'm doing amazing. Vacation was really nice. I still don't have work today or tomorrow. It's going to suck going back to work on Monday, that's for sure. You're doing great. That's awesome to hear. Likes, I always get kind of more of like a poison vibe from them. Like they don't look like they're water-based. They look kind of like a sludge to me. Yeah. Likes, we are going to give poison type to. I've not been streaming because of my new job. You know, I did notice I haven't seen you going live in quite a bit, but I hope the new job is doing good. You know, sometimes it always really sucks when you kind of have, like, real-life changes that cause you to need to change your hobby and downtime habits. I know for me, I had to consider either not streaming or streaming less or completely changing my streaming schedule when I started my new job, and I was able to make it work to keep streaming as normal. But it was something I had to consider because I didn't know if I would have the same energy that I would normally be able to provide when I started the new job. Luckily, I was able to make it work. It is very early starts. Well, sometimes the very early part of a new job is kind of the best because you're not there's less expectation on you. You're kind of just learning. Where are we here? Moldorm. These guys, they look to me like the fire chain enemy from Mario. Is that kind of what they are, or like similar to the land molas, just without the eyeballs? Moldorm. Yeah, let me just do a quick read up here. What's their deal? Okay, they're very much like a sandworm. Okay. Small, land-dwelling creatures that are like long worms. In more recent games, they've taken the appearance of more centipede-like enemy instead of worm-like. Okay. Well, I'm willing to give this ground bug, similar to what we did with the moldworms. Alright, I'm not the moldworms, the land molas. Let's see here. Oh no, here's something. We have an enemy type that's not on our list. That means I need to insert a row. Patra. Now, this kind of... you know what this might be? This might be a mini-boss rather than, like, a regular monster. That might be why it's not included in here. But it looks to me like a beholder. It looks like it's got multiple little minions. That gives me psychic vibes. Pole's voice. I believe that these are just kind of like little rabbit creatures. I know, generally speaking, they have like some kind of importance to them, right? Like you need to defeat them in particular ways, maybe with bombs in this game or something. Full transparency, I have never played, like given an earnest attempt at playing the original Legend of Zelda. I've been meaning to, it's never come up. I think the only times I've ever even like played little bits of it have been from like little mini games that are nods to it, or I think I had the NES player in the GameCube Animal Crossing for Legend of Zelda. Maybe one day I'll play it. I don't know. But a Pole's voice, I'm going to give this normal typing. Rope. These are the snake enemies. They are ropes. They are Ekans coded. I don't know necessarily if I want to do just poison or poison normal. So let's go ahead and just do poison. Poison the snakes. Ooh, the Stalfos. With the white background, you can't see that these are skeleton knights. I am willing to give this ghost fighting. Stone statues are not included here. I'm okay with leaving those off. Unless it was already on the list, I'm okay to move on. These are just kind of like, what do you call it? Like dungeon decoration, and they can shoot projectiles at you, but it's more for you to dodge out of the way and have you have a harder time fighting monsters, rather than being able to actually kill these things. So we go over to the Vire, which is actually something I don't know what it is. Okay. Interesting. These guys are little winged gremlin-looking dudes. Vires appear fairly early in the game. When hit, they split into 2 red color keys, unless hit with the magical sword. They jump around on screen, but cannot cross water. Oh, okay. So you hit them, and then they separate into bats, basically. Well, they have wings, so, you know, flying type seems most appropriate. The fact that they will split up into the keys unless they are hit with a magical sword gives me fairy vibes, actually. I think we're gonna make this a fairy flying. Wall Masters. Very scary. Very wall mastery. There we go. The fact that they're kind of like disembodied hands, or less so disembodied, but rather just like they are encompassed of hand, it gives me ghost vibes, especially the fact that they kind of like in later games have like magical dark portals that they can come from. Wind Waker in particular, at least, or, you know, Floor Masters, right? I'm gonna say Dark Ghost on these. Wizrobes. they are wizards. They come in red and blue like most enemies in this game. Gotta love those limited color palettes. There's no, like, magic class aside from fairy, but I wouldn't classify these guys as, like, fairy types, right? That being said, like, they shoot out fire, right? And they teleport. So we could say... Fire Psychic. And, oh, Zols do exist. Okay. These are your classic slimes. Obviously, they're not the same as gels. But slime always has, like, a water and maybe, like, a water poison-coated energy to me. These guys in particular, I'd say that they're more... you know, they got the green coloring. Green is kind of poison-like. We're gonna say water. We're gonna say water. And that is it for The Legend of Zelda. And we move on now to The Adventures of Link. Oh god. Again, thank you to ZeldaDungeon.net for all of this assistance. Now, I've never played this game. I feel like I've seen maybe like a Let's Play of it once or twice, but I never really paid attention to the enemies. So these are Achis, or Aches. Probably Aches. They come in blue and purple, and... oh, that's a different enemy. Okay. Well, they're your bats. They're... I'm willing to give them just the flying type, right? Eggman. Ah, okay. So he has a bat form, but otherwise he's kind of like a very demonic kind of enemy here. Very interesting. Just from the red coloring and the kind of like demonicness and the fact that it can change into a bat gives me vampire vibes. I'm going to give this thing... Ghost... Yeah, let's give it Ghost Dark. Why not? The Air Bubble. Air Bubble is not included in this. I'm gonna say let's move on without it. Oh, these things aren't included either. Aneru. I wonder why they weren't included here. I'm gonna stick to the list of the person made, unless something looks like particularly enemy-esque, like these Anerus. I'll go ahead and add the Anerus in. If these are more decoration, kind of like the statue things from Legend of Zelda, this isn't meant to be super serious. These guys, the red and blue coloring is kind of giving me a little bit of like, oh, do they have an elemental aspect to them? Otherwise, they look like piranha plants. We're gonna say that these guys are grass types. Grass. Man, whoever this is, they did not include a lot of these enemies here. The Aruroda. Unless Aru Louder is the same thing as this. We can look that up. Also known as Aru Loaders. Okay. Alright. That's fine then. I'll allow that. Does that mean the Aneru were named something else as well in other games? Similar to blue Octoroks. Oh, okay. So they shoot rocks. We'll make it a grass rock type then. I don't want to rely on needing to go into their wiki pages to learn about them, but it's fine. The Aruroda, or the Arulauder. This looks like a bug type to me. It's like a scorpion. I would say that's a bug. Bago Bago white form. Looks kind of like a skeleton creature of some kind. I'm okay with just giving it ghost typing. Ghost really is like, in Pokemon terms, Ghost is very specifically like spectral. But outside of Pokemon, Ghost really is just kind of like a catch-all for undead, right? So we will just do Ghost there. A bit. This kind of looks like just a regular slime enemy. But its red coloring kind of gives me not necessarily fire vibes, but you know, she slime from Dragon Quest. It's like the coloring just differentiates it from other creatures rather than changing much more about it. Water. It's a slime, or at least it looks like a slime. We'll give it water typing. The Boon, this looks like some type of blue beetle or something. But also the fact that its name is Boon makes me think that it does something nice for you. Again, I don't want to go in and just kind of like look at their wikis. We won't get through half of these games. I have a feeling we'll get through half of them by the end of stream, unless I'm looking at the wikis for every single enemy here. I'm gonna give this just name alone, Boon meaning good. I'm gonna give this Fairy Bug. And a bot is the blue version of a bit. I'm going to say this gives me ice vibes. Ooh, you know what? Boon has ice vibes too, mostly just because of the coloring. But I'd be willing to give that ice bug instead of fairy. So we've got the ice bot and the water bit. Okay, cool. Bubble. I'm guessing Bubble in this case can be swapped with Boulder. Unless it's from the other... Oh no, they put it here. Air Bubble is just Bubble here. That makes more sense. Okay. Well, Bubble, Water, Bubble... Water flying. Adira. Dyras come in orange and red. These are your kind of Moblin stand-ins, as far as I can tell. I get rock vibes because they're dinosaur-looking, so rock fighting. Dealers, they come in red and blue. These guys are very clearly beetles. These guys, they're gonna be bugs. Bug types. Doom Knocker. What the heck is a Doom Knocker? We're gonna have to look for it later, I guess. Faka and Fakeru. I gotta be careful with how I pronounce those things. Let's just, you know, we have the next thing is Geldarm here, so we're gonna go skip to Geldarm. Goodness me, I need a better look at Geldarms here. Centipede tower things. Yeah. Bug. Bug. Geru, orange and red. I'm guessing Geru is the same as the Girabaku. We will double check its namesake here. Maybe not. I don't know. Similar to Moas, but it's much slower moving. Okay. So they're not the Gerus. Then... Alright, here's the Girabaku. Then I guess we're just not gonna look at Gerus at all. Fine, whatever. Whatever, we move on. We move on. Girabaku. Floating eyes, similar to Moas. They shoot lasers out of their eyes, right? Water Psychic. Actually, no, we're just gonna do Psychic on these. Here's Goria. Gives me Minotaur vibes. I'm okay with just giving these things fighting type. Guma? Giant bulls constantly throwing hammers and things. I have to assume that Geru is the same as Goma, or Guma in this instance. In that case, I'm gonna say fighting types as well. These guys just fight. Iron Knuckle. Is not on the list here. King Bubble wasn't on the list either, right? Because, again, there's like another category. I gotta remember that as well. Lever. Here we go. Lever. Again, basically ground-type enemies here. Louder. It kind of looks like a pill bug. We're gonna just give it... Oh, we'll give it ground bug. Why not? Megmat. I honestly don't even know what to make of this thing. This kind of looks like an armadillo. In that case, I will give it normal type. The Moas come in multiple colors. They're very similar to whatever they were called before. As soon as we get into some of the next few games, the names of monsters will make a little bit more sense to me. I have no idea what I'm doing with Adventures of Link here. These guys, they do seem to be more physical than the other ones. We got Psychic for the other one, so why don't we do normal Psychic on the Moas? Okay, Moblins. Kind of like your beast soldiers, right? These guys are gonna be normal types. Moby. I don't even know what I'm looking at here, Moby. I need to look at your official artwork. You're a bird. Okay. Normal flying. The Miu. Oh my god, I have no idea what I'm looking at here. Okay, you're kind of like a spike shell. kind of creature. We're gonna give you Steel Bug. Octoroks, they very much look more like octopi instead of just having the name. I'm sure these things walk around on land as well, so maybe we will keep to just the rock typing for them for now. Hold on one second. Sorry for that interruption. A funny story, honestly. I drove my wife into work today, and I was expecting to go pick her up after stream, and I heard the door being opened downstairs. So I'm like, okay, either someone who has a key to our house, because we do have friends and family who have keys to our house, needed to stop by for something, or someone's breaking into the house. And it is just my wife, who got dropped off by her coworker. So everything is fine, everything is safe. If only she had texted me in advance. But that's okay. Everything is fine, that's what's more important. Anyway, where were we? Octoroks. These guys are rock types. Nintendo Bro. Yes. You bought Violet last night. Awesome. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy your $600 DLC for Violet version, so that the game runs smoother. I can't wait to see you play it if you stream it, or at the very least hear about your adventures through it. Have to wait until Father's Day to get to it, though. Oh my goodness, why do you have to wait so long? Or just because you're going to be busy playing other games? River Devil. I mean, it sounds pretty obvious to me, water dark type. Tektites. They look a little bit different, because also, like, part of the issue here is that they are, like, side profile, enemies because of how Adventures of Link operates. So I'm willing to give this thing steel flying again, because I'm assuming it is going to still be kind of like a jumpy enemy. It's gonna be my Father's Day present from the kids. Oh, very cute. Well, when it is that you do get around to playing it, especially if you stream it, I can't wait to hear about it and hopefully see it. Do you know if when you play it, if you're going to try nuzlocking it or not? Personally, I wouldn't recommend nuzlocking for your first experience with that kind of with any game, honestly. I wouldn't recommend a challenge run for the very first time you're playing through it. But also because I feel like terastallizing, which is the region-specific gimmick for battles, it's really annoying to play around in the early game. Mrs. Epitaph Fox, thank you very much for your using Splash. Unfortunately, it does nothing, but it does let me know that you're here. I haven't decided that yet. Oh, and thank you for redeeming first, Nintendo Bro. Appreciated. And it's really okay. I would rather be scared and then relieved rather than scared and then having to figure out, like, if this is someone breaking in, like, do I need to defend myself? Or, like, how do I adequately get assistance in the moment? Personally, I'm really glad that I could hear the door being opened from up here, even with my headphones on. Can you imagine someone breaking into the house and I had no idea? That's worse. Okay, the Zoras. They are, they actually kind of look like if you shaved the fins off of a Vaporeon. Well, now I can. Sorry. And he classifies them as a River Zora. That's fine. That's fine. Zora, I mean, obviously they're water. This time they appear to be able to, like, go on land, which makes me want to give them normal typing. So we'll give them normal water here. Alright, and then we will go all the way back up to try and find the next category for these enemies here. Palace enemies. Now, we already had Bago Bago, but I guess there's a different color version of them in here. Bots have different appearances here. Bubbles, again, they have kind of like a different appearance. I guess these bubbles in particular are not the same as the air bubbles. In that case, I'll give them fire flying. Here we go, Doom Knockers. Alright, these kind of give me Dullahan vibes from Dragon Quest. Monsters with maces, basically. I'd be willing to give the Doom Knocker Dark Steel. The Faka looks kind of like a bird soldier of some kind. The red ones hold their shields up high, the blue ones hold their shields down low. It gives me flying fighting. And the Fakeru, it looks more bird-like than anything. The red makes me think fire. Oh, these guys are not birds at all. What the heck are these? Guys are like, resemble dancing birds that breathe fire. Oh, well, I guess they do have a, kind of like a phoenix appearance. Fire flying. And we saw that up here, right? The bot of the Great Palace is giant. A giant bot, I would say, gives off... If the original bot is... What did we say? Ice type? That a giant bot would be water ice. I'd be willing to give that there. Iron Knuckle. Iron Knuckle, your classic steel enemies. King Bubble. I don't see King Bubble in here. Oh, Bubble from the Great Palace. It's literally the same. It's probably just a giant version of it. Fire flying. The Lizalfos. If they're even in here. I wonder if the person who wrote my list thought that the armored Stalfos were Lizalfos. Because we didn't see on here, right? Like, we have Stalfos... Oh, these are Stalfos Knights right here. Well, Stalfos Knights, armored Stalfos. These are Steel Ghosts. And the Stalfos, obviously just ghosts. What about Ra? Ooh, okay. Ra is kind of like probably our first instance of a dragon type enemy. I'd be willing to give that dragon. The stone statue, no image available. Tin suit. I don't know what tin suit refers to. Don't know what Wozu refers to. It's not on the list here. We have wizard, though. Tin suit. They kind of look like a beast swordsman of some kind. Wolf heads. No idea what they were going for here. Alright, well, at least we've seen what the official artwork is of the tin suit. I'm willing to give that normal steel. Terrible fighting weakness, but, you know, what can you do, right? The wizards... Where's wizards? Wizards gives me fire psychic vibe, as they have always done. What did we miss out on? Mao. Which are these, I am assuming, beast heads that are sticking out of walls because you don't see the rest of the body. I don't want to look at the wiki page. I assume it shoots a projectile. We are going to just call these fire types. Mago, you're kind of like a ghost psychic looking thing. I assume you're some kind of like spellcaster, but you are not a wizard. So let's go ghost psychic on you. And we never quite found out what they meant by Lizalfos. They're not the Iron Knuckles, so maybe it was the Goomas? No, we have Gooma right here. I don't know. I don't think we ever had Miyu. No, we did. It could be Wozu. Or the Wozu might be the tin suits. Yep, Wozu is tin suit. Okay. I have no idea what they meant by Lizalfos then. Adventure of Link, Lizalfos. Orange, red, and blue. It must have been something we saw over in here then. The Geru! Oh, I don't remember what we thought the Geru was. Maybe it was the Gooma. We got Gooma and Geru mixed up, and Geru are the Lizalfos. We'll make them fighting type. We'll keep it all current in that. God, that was really obnoxious. Link to the Past. Alright. Now there's 5 different categories here. This is gonna take us some time. And, you know, they're not going to have the names, right? That would be too easy if the names matched up. The archers are probably going to be named something else somewhere else, so we're just going to move on. Armos are in here. Now, Armos here, they look more statuesque rather than armor. Although it could be like a standing armor thing. So I'm actually going to split down the middle, rock, steel. What do we got here? Bees? We're skipping all of these. Okay. The bees, they are insects. That is a bug flying. Bomb Knight. Oh, goodness me. Well, we don't have anything named Bomb Knight, so we will move on. Boulder, that is a rock type, of course, of course. Buzz Blob. These look like the Electrozoles. That's gonna be electric. Let's do electric, water electric. I think this is also our first electric type enemy. Crow, very obviously, a crow is a dark flying. Obviously. Whereas Kuko's obviously normal flying. Although, should we even call them flying types? They can't fly, they can glide. I don't know. What does everyone else think? If anyone has an opinion, at least, I would love to hear it. I'd say even with the gliding, I would give it normal flying. Cuke man. I assume that's a cucumber man. I'm gonna say normal grass. Dead rock. Dead rock kind of looks like a dinosaur. Just because it has dead in the name, it doesn't look like it is undead. I'm gonna just say that this is a rock type. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. Jeez. Ground Ghost? Ground Ghost for Dead Rock? You know, it's got to be named Dead Rock for a reason. You know, I agree with you, Mrs. Fox. Let's do Ground Ghost. The Golden Bee, I don't think we're gonna have... We have Good Bee over here. We also have Geldman. Don't want to skip out on Geldman here. Geldman kind of looks like a Mudman. We're gonna do Ground for Geldman. Honestly, Ground Ghost seems like it would make more sense for Geldman than it would for Dead Rock. We'll leave it, though. I'm guessing Golden Bee and Good Bee are the same. If it's so good, if it's so gold, why don't we make this a fairy bug, then? Since it's so good and so golden. Hoarder. Don't know what Hoarder is supposed to be in all of this, so we move on. The Keese. These are flying types. Mini Moldorm. We already know the mini Moldorms are, like, bug ground. Octo Balloon. Okay, well, I have to assume that Octoroks are officially water enemies at this point. So why don't we give this water flying? And then the regular Octoroks, we will make them water rock types. The Poe. Classic Ghost. We could argue Ghost Fire because of the lantern, but I'm okay with just Ghost. Rat. Rat is a normal type. River Zora. It can go on land. I'm okay giving River Zora the water normal typing again. Sand crab. We don't have sand crab in here. Slime. Slimes do appear to be more grass-like in this game. I will say for this, water grass. I'm guessing Green Soldier is Stalfos and Spear Knight is Stalfos Knight. In that case, there's also the spear version ones here, and they got blue sword versions as well. Yeah, it doesn't go into like their different colorings, so I'm gonna say Steel and Stalfos Knight, Ghost Steel. The Tektites, they still give me flying bug energy here. The Thief has to be like a normal dark because it's just a bad guy, right? He's just a bad guy. Bug Water. See, the reason why I want to give Tektites flying is because they jump so high. I guess they could be water types as well. You normally find them where the water is. We're gonna leave Flying Bug for that, though. But, yeah, Dark Normal. This is just some bad dude. Topo, or Topo. You're not on here unless your name is different from the list. We will figure that out. And Vulture. I mean, Vulture is pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. This is a dark flying type. Alright. we will just go through the list and then figure out the in-between afterward. Blazing Bat is not in here. It has a different name. We move on. Bone Kuko. Oh, we do have Bone Kuko right here. This will be Ghost Normal. The Chasupa. This gives me, like, just the fact that it's an eyeball with wings gives me less undead feeling, so no ghost, but more psychic. So I'm gonna say psychic flying for the Chasupa. Crab is not in here. Not yet. We might see Crab later. Dacto. Dacto's not on this list. It probably has a different name. That's okay. Hinox. Hinox gives me fighting vibes. Like, look at those muscles, right? Maybe normal fighting. The Hinoxes are kind of like with the Moblins and the Bokoblins, right? They're kind of just like normal beast creatures. Hinox at least is more like a Cyclops thing, so maybe rock fighting. How much you want to bet Dacto is Helmasaur? Hiyu kind of looks like a Poe, like a baby Poe almost. So we'll say Hu is. It's also spelled different, but I'm willing to believe Hiyu is Hu. That's a ghost. We do have a Ku. I have no idea what Kus are. We will need to look at the wiki page for you. Cyclops fish. Dark world counterparts to the river Zora. Okay. Dark water. Alright. Likes are not in here. Really? Alright. Moving on. Lionels. Lionels have more of a beast appearance here than in the previous game we've done them in. The Legend of Zelda. They also look less terrifying, if I'm being honest. They don't look very imposing here. I'm willing to give this just normal typing. Moblin, same kind of deal. It's giving normal. Pikit kind of looks like a pumpkin Octorok. So we will give this grass rock, because I'm assuming it will still shoot rock projectiles. Paiku is not in here unless it's a Piragosu, but we have no way of knowing. Ropa kind of looks like a squash, an evil squash. I will give this dark grass. Slarok is... You know, it's giving me, like, poison mushroom energy on an Octorok. So, Poison Rock. Slime. We already got Slime in here. We figured Slime out way long ago. Snapdragon. This thing is giving me Plant Dragon vibes. I could argue maybe it kind of has like an undead feel to it, but it's a piranha plant. It's a Venus flytrap. But it's got dragon in the name. We don't have too many dragon types. Grass dragon. Why not? Stal. Maybe that's what they meant by Stalfos. I have no idea. We move on. Swammola. These are swamp land molas. Given that it has more of a grass feel to it, so we're going to say grass bug here. The Tauros. These are Minotaurs. Pretty self-explanatory. The fact that they use weapons makes me want to give fighting or maybe steel, because it looks like the blue ones have like a club and the red ones have a trident. Yeah, these guys can just be fighting types. The Zeros. These are your flying mushroom men. Flying grass. Still don't know what these archers are all about. Anti-fairies. They are flying skull monsters. Despite being called anti-fairies, I would say that they are still fairy-esque. So I'm going to say fairy ghost. The balls, we don't know what that is. The gold ball and chain soldier, they also have a gray ball and chain soldier. They are ball and chain troopers. We are going to give these guys steel. Should we do just steel? Yeah, I'm feeling just steel on these guys. Beamos. They kind of look like how they normally look in some of the other games, which is like a statue that also has like a whole like laser compartment to it. Gives me psychic vibes. The statue part gives me rock vibes. I also get kind of like an electric coded energy from this thing as well. So what if we do psychic electric? Bumpers, not on here. Devilant? Oh, here are the Devilants here. These are ground bugs. Easy. The Igors, these are kind of like statue Cyclops, I'm guessing. I also kind of get like a bug-like vibe from them. So maybe like bug fighting? The flying tile. This is ground flying right here. Flying ground, literally. Giant ball. Have no idea what that's all about. Guru bar? No idea. Hard hat beetles. Hard hat gives me steel vibes. Beetle is bug, obviously. But I'm willing to say that these guys are just bug types. I don't think the fact that they have a hard hat should give them any kind of special typing. They are bugs. Not everything needs to have dual typing. Kadongos? Probably what the Helmasaur is, but we don't know. Kodondo? That's probably... I'd be more willing to believe that. That being said, Dinosaur always gives me rock vibe. I kind of have that as a carryover from Yu-Gi-Oh! Otherwise, dinosaurs are beast, and beast kind of means normal. They need to be taken out with explosives, usually. I'm gonna say we will just go with normal rock. Sure. The levers. Here we go. So the levers are the Dark World equivalent of that like squash looking thing, right? So these guys, they're still kind of the thing that like pop out of the ground and attack you. So I'm getting ground vibes. I don't know necessarily if they should have another typing. I'm okay with just ground type for levers. Popo. Here we go. Popo looks like a mass of snakes. I will need to get a better look at this thing. Popo are not much of a threat to Link, as they are extremely easy to defeat. They will slowly move around ground level, inching closer to him. They appear in the Eastern Palace, then again in the Desert Palace. They're slow, massive vines, I'm guessing? I'm willing to just give this grass type and moving on. Rat. Here we get ropes, finally. Ropes are poison types. They're snakes. Spark. Easiest one here. They're electric. They're meant to be kind of like a plasma ball, I'm thinking, or like a just kind of like loose energy. That's an electric type. Here are the actual Stalfos. Okay, so Stalfos are not the same as these Spear Knights. In that case, then, Stalfos is being changed to Ghost immediately. Do I have Wall Turret? I have Wall Master, but we honestly don't know if that's the same thing. We've got 2 more categories to do, though, so let's just see what we can. Kazi redeeming a dramatic song reading. What are we dramatically reading, Kazi? And welcome in, by the way. Happy birthday to me, please. I feel like I've done this before, but in case I haven't. Now, just to specify, are you asking me to dramatically read Happy Birthday as if I'm singing it to you specifically? Or Happy Birthday to myself? You haven't witnessed. Yeah, I mean, no one ever catches these things as they happen, really. Dramatically to myself. Okay. We will look up the official lyrics to Happy Birthday, because we always have to read off of the official lyrics. I'll also turn or at least pause my chill, relaxing music. Alright, Happy Birthday to You by the Countdown Kids. The Countdown Kids? Dramatically read by Epitaph Fox. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. That's so weird. All right. Relaxing ambient music coming back now. Kazi, how are you doing today? Thank you for tuning in. We don't know what the Argies are. Love your dramatics. Thank you. Babusu! These guys look like little dark shadow monster things. I'm willing to give Ghost because it has a spectral appearance, but I also kind of think maybe just a dark type would make sense here. I'm doing really well, thank you. My afternoon has thankfully opened up because my wife's coworker very kindly dropped her off at home, so I don't need to go and pick her up in like an hour. So I'm happy to have a little bit more free time in my day now. I've been a little busy. You know, I trimmed up the beard last night, and I got my haircut shortly before stream. I got home from the haircut, and then I had to mow some of the backyard in preparation of us picking up our dog later. That way he has less tall grass to try and like jump over when he's going to the bathroom. Looking forward to those wings. Yes, I very much am. If they... I don't anticipate that they're going to do this, but if they bring out like a platter or a basket with all 32 wings all at once, I'm definitely getting a picture of it. If it's just like here's 10 or 12 at a time or whatever, I'm not going to take pictures of like just wings unless they in particular look quite immaculate for some reason. Then maybe I'll get a picture. Oh, and thank you for the compliment on my haircut. My barber is actually really funny. My barber was like, I go to the same place, but I don't get the same person every time. I don't really care too much about that. I remember I used to growing up. I was always like, no, I go to this place and I go and see this guy. And it kind of felt like that's just how it was. But I don't care about who does it anymore. I also technically don't really care about the place as much anymore. I like knowing where I can go, where it's relatively not too busy and the pricing is good, and like if I'm in the mood to talk, someone to talk to. Otherwise, if I don't really feel like talking, no one's gonna give me hassle. And so the guy, when he finished and he's showing it to me, I'm like, oh hey, it looks great. And he said, yeah, I just kind of tried to keep your same cut, just shortened it up everywhere. And I said, that's how I prefer it. And he's like, well, you know, I've been a barber for 40 years. I generally know how, you know, men prefer, you know, a men's haircut. People generally find a style they like and then keep to it. No, they're not going to do them spaced out. They can't. All 32 of them on one plate. They must. I kind of hope they do, honestly. Babustu. We're going to just say dark type. Dark type. Berry. These guys are jellyfish, it looks like. I'm going to give them water electric. Or should I even bother with the water part? We'll do water electric. It's fine. Beery. I guess Beery are like a small version of the Bari. I'm gonna say these guys are just electric. Blade Trap is not on here. There's no Buzz in here. We will find out. It's fine. No Chain Chomp in here either. We got Chasupa already. Igor's Fireball Cannon. There's no Fireball Cannon in here. Freezor. Very clearly just an Ice type. Very clearly. Here we go. Gibdos and Gibbo. Well, Gibbo looks really... I need to look at your wiki page here, Gibbo. What the heck are you? There's no official artwork for them, unfortunately. They're only found in Thieves' Town, the 4th dungeon of the Dark World. 2 parts, the core of its body as well as the surrounding membrane. After it settles, the membrane of the Gibbo will rejoin its body. Unable to harm it while they're together. Kind of weird, kind of gross. Well, Gibdo, obviously, you know, we've got a zombie, we've got a mummy, so that's a ghost type. Previously, I put Gibdo as ghost grass because of the bandages. I've decided I don't want to keep doing that. Gibbo. It reminds me of Glimmet from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is a rock poison type. I'm willing to give this poison type. Poison. If I spell it correctly, it says the word correctly. We already have the gorillas, don't we? We don't. Gorillas. These guys are weird-looking things. They've appeared in previous titles. I recall seeing them before. Slightly different from all of the other versions. Oversized jackal, and its movements depend on how Link moves. Oh, okay. So they're kind of like mimics in a way. The fact that they have like dark, hollowed-out eyes kind of gives me statuesque vibes as well. I'm gonna give these guys dark typing. Especially from, like, the mimicry that they kind of have. Dark types. Here we go, the Helmosaurs. These guys are normal rocks. That helmet of theirs, that's a rock. Not steel. Rock. Hakubaku. I guess that's Hakbak. If I can make like a proper correlation between the two, I'll go forward with it. This looks like a Spiny from Mario. But it also looks like it's kind of like a normal beast of some kind, because it's got round ears. We will look at the wiki. We will look at the article about it. It's fine. So this is just talking about like how to defeat them. It's not talking about the actual enemy itself. Fine. I'm gonna say that this is a normal creature. Even though it is not really normal, it comes with like disassociated parts of it that fly off. Normal type. Hover. Don't know what a hover is. We don't have laser eye in here. We don't have like for some reason. Medusa. We don't have a Medusa. We don't have moles. Pentagore kind of looks like a penguin. Kind of looks a little sinister as well. I'm going to give this dark water. The Pyrogosu. This kind of looks like... I can't tell if that's wind or electricity. Specifically in rooms with shallow water. They wriggle out of sewer holes embedded in the palace walls. Oh, okay, that's them swimming around. So they're like crocodiles. Crocodiles, okay. I see it now. Okay, so this is a water type. Through and through. Slugula. Don't have a Slugula in this. Stalfos Knight is a real thing as well, so we will... You know, I'm willing to let Stalfos Knight just be a ghost type as well. It uses a bone club, it looks like, rather than a proper sword, so no steel typing on that. Skull Rope. We do not have Skull Rope either. Oh no, we do, right here. Ghost Poison. Although maybe it would be better served as ghost normal, because as a undead snake of some kind, maybe it won't bite you? We'll stick with ghost poison, though. I like it. Tauros, Terrapin. We do not have Terrapin in here. Wall Turret, Wall Master. I'm willing to give this just dark typing. Kayamaron. Here we go. Kayamaron. I don't know why it's all the way down here. This thing looks like it's like a water slime. Water gibbos. Shallow water. Bounce around the room. Okay, yeah, these are water types. Winder. Do we have Winder? Nope. We have Wizrobe, though. And looks like their Dark World counterpart is also undead, so it's kind of weird that they're the same name, but they're actually separate creatures. I'm willing to just make them psychic types rather than psychic fire in that case, then. Zazax? They're not on my list. Zols are your classic slime. They come in multiple colors. In that case, then, Zol always gives me water base. Perhaps if we had a actual distinction of all of the different colors, green Zol would be like water grass, then water fire, water... probably just water for turquoise, water electric for yellow. And Zoro kind of looks like just a shadow, so this is going to be a ghost type. One more category, and then we'll actually look up the rest of them here. And I think after this we'll have time for one more game, which is Link's Awakening, right? Traps. Anti-fairy group? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, these are all just like the traps and stuff. Like they're this didn't even need to be its own category, I don't think. See also. Enemy details, got it. Okay, whatever. Alright, so from the top, what did we miss? Bow Wow. Well, so this is going to be Chain Chomp, right? Yeah, this is Chain Chomp. It's a Chain Chomp. Like what more do you want? It's a steel type. I'm thinking of just changing the name here, so because I don't know why they put Bow Wow there. Totally unnecessary. Crab. Link to the Past Crab. Sand Crab. It's probably why we didn't see it. Sorry. Clicking things I shouldn't be clicking, honestly. Well, if they are specifically called sand crabs in this game, we're gonna go water ground. Okay, the Daira. Kinda looks like... just kind of like a knight-looking thing with an axe. Could be the Piku. Oh, these guys are just kind of like thieves. So, no, I don't think that's what the Piku are. So these archers, those must be the Hyrule soldiers on the list. Hoarder. I wonder if that's the sand crab. No, there's sand crab. We totally missed it. No big deal. Don't know what the hoarder is then. No idea why Daira is listed here. I'm just gonna remove it because I can't find what it might be referring to. Hyrule Guard. These guys, they're steel types. Steel fighting. They come in all sorts of flavors. Nara Nuru. What the heck? Oh, don't give me AI. Nura Nuru. Bomb slugs. What? Sometimes referred to as bomb slugs. Jeez. I would never have thought that that's what they were. Where did we even see them? Honestly, it doesn't even matter. Bomb slugs, that's poison electric. We don't need to know why they are called bomb slugs. If they're bombs, they're explosions. It's electric. Podobos. Or Podoboos. Recurring enemies in the Zelda series, typically depicted as chains of fireballs that follow the perimeter. Chain of fireballs, okay. That's the Guru Guru bar. Those are the Podobos. Fire. They're fire. Rabbit Fang. What the heck? Rabbit fangs are these flying little rabbit monsters. Where would we find those? I just want to see, like, what they're actually called according to this thing here. It's not the hoarders. Not the keys, but they look close to keys. They're not the Tektites. It's the Topos. But we had Topo on here, didn't we? We didn't. Okay. So Rabbit Fang is Topo. Which means I want to say normal flying. It's a bunny with wings. Raven. Ravens are the blue bird things. I don't even know where we last saw one of those. It almost seems like Raven and Crow are the same thing, even though they aren't. I'm spending so much time trying to, like, figure this out, and I really don't have to. It's fine, though. Yeah, no idea where Raven is coming from in here. We're not seeing it listed. It's not even... yeah, it's not called Raven. It's also possible the person who created the list that I'm using didn't think they were different enemies, so they just didn't include them. Oh no, but they created the list. They said they're different. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going crazy. Still don't know what the terror pins are. Or the Zazaks. Still don't know about those. Alright. We are getting rid of Raven. Getting rid of it. It's not helping us. Spiny Beetle. What do we got here? Alright, spiny beetles are the hoarders. Which makes me think grass bug. Because they cover themselves in the little grass bush. Grass bug. And turtle, that has to be the terror pin. Has to be. Wherever they are. There it is, right there. Yep. Terrapin. Whew. If they're basically just turtles, they're impervious to damage when they're in their shell. It gives off normal vibe, it gives off water vibe. Kind of gives off steel vibe in a way. I'd be willing to give water steel. Sure. Are there anything else? No. And we never found out what some of the other enemies were. These Zazaks? No clue. No clue what the Zazaks were, according to the Reddit user I got the list of enemies from. But that's okay. We definitely do not have time to go into Link's Awakening. Very unfortunately. But what is the next list that has, like, the least amount? According to the person who made the lists, I should say. No, we don't have the time. It's fine. We got through Legend of Zelda: Adventures of Link and A Link to the Past. I'm very happy with myself. This may be not necessarily like a recurring thing in terms of like on our next stream we're gonna just do this again, but I would like to either develop this further on my own or do more streams of this in the future. I don't know exactly when, but this is what I wanted to do today for my birthday, and thank you to everyone for hanging out with me during this. I hope watching me go crazy looking at sprites not related to Pokemon and applying Pokemon rules to them was in any way entertaining, interesting, or otherwise. I know for myself this was just silly, goofy fun, and I had a good time. It was a good time. Great, I'm happy about that. I may stream tomorrow. I have tomorrow off from work as well, so I may stream tomorrow. If not, we are next live on Sunday, starting at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If it's tomorrow or Sunday, we are getting back to In Stars in Time. We are in the middle of Act 3. There's a lot we have left to do in that act and the subsequent acts of the game. I know there are at least 5 acts. I don't know if there's a 6th act or not. So we have a lot of work to do in Stars in Time, and I'm going to get there and do it. Alright, well, that is it for me for today. I hope you all enjoy... Oh, before I do, a big thank you to everyone for hanging out with me today, especially on my birthday. I really greatly appreciate it. Mrs. Epitaph Fox, Kazi Game Girl, Nintendo Bro, Azzy, as well as anyone else who may have been lurking or otherwise. Veskit as well was here earlier. So greatly appreciate all of you.
A text message.
Oh, and thank you for the bits. Very unfortunately, my screens are covering. That's normally not supposed to be there. Kazi, thank you so kindly for the 50 bits. I really greatly appreciate that. So that's gonna be it for me for today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and goodbye.